Kelly Dowd of KPMG, uh, one of the world's largest consulting firms that has artificial intelligence and innovation practice. And Kelly today, I love his title. Here it is: Leading Digital Transformation with AI and Human-Centered Design Innovation.
Thank you so much, Gerard. And once again, thank you so much for the opportunity to connect and share insights with this incredible audience. Um, Before I start, I just want to say this quickly. For every disruption, may it be COVID or flu or Gen AI, there's innovation. So, which means for everything that has happened, maybe negative, there's always, a positive impact from it too, that really transform the way we do things, the way we transform businesses, and also collaborate with people. You have digested insight from our incredible speakers. George actually talked about AI, the big picture. You also got to hear from Audrey, who talked about supercharge your growth with AI. You as well had an incredible insight from Garima, who talked about how AI can change your online learning. You heard from Kai Wang, who talked about using AI for innovation. And you also heard from Lad, who talked about how we boost total productivity in their company. So I am Kelly Dowd. I am a human-centered innovation and experience design lead at KPMG US, and also the founder of Innovation AI, GBT. One of the things I'll be doing today is to just share, let's say, how you can explore the role of leadership in AI-driven digital transformation. As well, encourage the interplay between human-centered design, innovation, technology, and strategy. We will explore teams to empower teams, rather, to discover the blueprints for collaborative innovation. And last but not the least, establish measurements for the impact of digital transformation. You can also connect with me at any point in time during this presentation. To start with leadership imperative in AI transformation, in the ethos of transformation, everyone is a leader. Whether you agree or not, whether you think, oh, perhaps you're not holding a big job title, that you're not a leader, frankly, you are a leader because every day you contribute ideas to make your workplace a better place, to make the world a better place. So you're leading, you're also leading your own life. You have people around you that you lead as well. And AI is here to stay. You can't, it's not going anywhere. It is right here. And we just have to find a way to strategically and pragmatically leverage this to our competitive advantage. So leadership in AI transformation is the act of navigating the uncharted waters of technology to steer organizations towards innovation and growth. And as you know, leadership is not just about guiding the present, but also, architecting the future and finding ways to embody the roles of strategic visionaries and pragmatic planning to harness transformative power of AI. I will, to deep dive into the roles that leader plays, and as I liked it before, leaders play a very strategic role, and also they play that pragmatic planning. But let's just deep dive into the leaders' strategic roles. One role is leaders champion AI innovation, and by that is this gives a leader the opportunity to be an advocate for transformation by eloquently steering the ship in the right direction and providing a safe space that fosters psychological safety. Another role is securing resources. You have the critical role of pulling the right diverse and inclusive team. Just imagine a chef in a kitchen running a kitchen with a lot of people. The chef have to find the people with different skills, so bring them together and empower them to be able to prepare the delicious meal that you consume in a restaurant. Another critical part of it role that leaders play is aligning AI with business objectives. As you know, it is empirical to always tie it back to the business because at the end of the day, you want your business to scale, and also you want to be able to like meet the market demand, what your consumers need, what your clients are yearning for, all of the things that keep your clients awake at night. You want to find ways to tailor to meet those objectives. I will share some practical use cases that we have seen so far. We noticed that companies that have integrated AI into their business operations actually see 15 to 20% increase in productivity. I mean, a practical example is Microsoft's turnaround with its cloud and AI investment. KPMG as well did sign a partnership most recently, about $2 billion partnership with Microsoft. And we have seen tremendous productivity, tremendous results as a result of that incredible partnership. And as you know, you can use AI, right, as a tool for decision making. You can also use AI for even like relating to your customers as well. So all of the things that perhaps you think might waste or consume a lot of your time, you can automate that, and you can use AI to streamline to make things more efficient for you. The key takeaway from this, right, is I mean, you are the leaders, you are the catalyst for AI-driven change. Your vision shapes the future of your organization. So, successful AI transformation requires visionary leadership, a robust strategy, and a commitment to culture change. You have to understand, right, with change comes with the impact, right, and the influence of behavior. All of the people that you're trying to lead, you must find a way to have this streamlined alignment that really fosters the collaboration, fosters the clear communication, especially when you are dealing with like a cross-functional team. And last but not the least is you have to strategically, design the roles in a way that you can all co-create together. Because at the end of the day, it's really all about collaboration. And to go into the big part of it, that is the human-centered design and technology strategy. I understand a lot of people might be wondering, what is human-centered design? Is this another buzzword, like design thinking or something? Well, it's not really far from each other, right? Because the core elements of human-centered design is just a critical focus on people, right? So basically, you just have to incorporate people from the very stage of the conception of the idea, right, to the stage of even to the prototyping of even testing the idea before you finally roll out. I mean, as we go in, I will share some frameworks so you can see what it really looks like. But it is not a buzzword. So for every dollar invested in UX, that is user experience, there's a huge return on investment. And to just give you a quick definition of it, human-centered design is an approach to problem solving commonly used in design and management frameworks that develop solutions by involving the human perspective in all steps of the problem solving. So if I take, for example, I need to create a product from you, right? It is imperative for me to understand the problem, for me to understand you, for me to know what you want, for me to know what really keeps you awake from sleeping, for me to know what is really disturbing you. So as a result of that, I have to, ask you lots of questions to really discover what the main pain point is. And from there, I developed this whole approach and mechanism of trying to understand you, right, based on the conversations that we've had. It could be, for instance, it could be a survey, right? Or it could be an interview with you. So I have this clear conversations, ask you proper questions, because at the end of the day, I don't want assumptions, yeah? I don't want to go ahead to create a product or perhaps design a service or even a particular framework that would not address your need. So I have to understand. And the next stage is ideating. So based on all of the data that I or my team have collected, the next point is to ideate. Okay, we have seen this. Let's diverge and converge, right? Let's what are the key components that could really enable this client to sleep well? Let's say, for example, right? Let's say you are dealing with culture transformation in your respective organization. Right? You are about to invest, let's say, $20 million, right, on adopting AI to ensure that there is this smooth operational efficiency in your respective organization. And you know that is going to lead to a huge shift overall in your operation, and also which will poke into the cultural aspects of your organization. So with that is I come up with different ideas on how that can be how that can impact you. And after ideating, the next stage is let's design, right? Because we'll have to prioritize those ideas. Then we design potential sketch of what the main product might be, or what the service might be, or what a process might be. Because at the end of the day, you have to really take a step back, think about the people, think about the process, think about the data, think about the technology, right? Of the in and out of the product or service you're trying to design. So you have to have all of this behind you at all time when leveraging the principles of human-centered design to design products or create services that are specifically tailored to humans. So from the designing, you go to evaluate, because frankly, it's not done. After you have to keep evaluating, this work, right? Did we tested it? We actually created a product? Did this work? Did it resonate? Did it solve the problem? Do we need to go back? Do we need to iterate? So it's just an ongoing process that never ends. And that is the last part of that, which is iteration, constant iteration. You have to keep doing it. You have to keep checking to ensure that the product or service or process that you have created is actually functioning. Now, let's just deep dive into some use cases. Let's say if you also look at the healthcare industry, Okta, right, is an AI tool for doctors that reduces the time for diagnosing diseases by analyzing patient data and suggesting personalized treatment plan. Even if you have to bring it to hospitality, Airbnb use of AI and human-centered design to enhance its recommendation system, leading to a 10% increase in bookings, right? So this involves understanding users' behavior, trying to understand their preferences, and just taking in feedback from left and right that is really tailored to the search and booking preferences of your potential customer. And overall, what is your experience? Because at the end of the day, you want your customers, right, and your employees, because it's not just about the product, it's also about your people. You want them to have a wonderful experience. Just a quick takeaway from this, from the principles of human-centered design and how you can leverage this framework too. Integrating human-centered design with AI ensures that technology solutions are not only innovative, but also truly meets the needs of users. Your users, your user is a critical component. So I have this video I'd like to play to all of you, and I hope this resonates. I will just speak behind as well as the video plays. So one of the things that I learned growing up, right, I learned that it takes a village to raise a child. It became clearly understood when I started my professional career as a fashion model. Then I morphed, right, collaborating with professionals in the industries. It doesn't just take one person to put on the whole show. It takes a tremendous group of people, right, to be able to put on a fashion show. That is just my previous life, right, as over 10 years ago. But if we have to bring this to the modern day, right, what you see right now, this is the incredibly well-designed National Botanical Garden Conservatory in Washington, D.C. The thoughtfulness, the human-centric design, the cross-industry collaboration by horticulturists, architects, government engineers, and even people like you and me that they surveyed. So I understand that, okay, if we have a conservatory like this, how would you feel for you to see so many species of, of plants just right next to you, where you can like interact, you can touch it, you can feel it. So that was how this conservatory came about. If you've never been to Washington, D.C., perhaps it should be a reason why you should come to Washington, D.C., because this is incredible. It gives you life. But the most important thing is you see what innovation really is, right? The practical application of human-centered design integrated with collaboration, creativity, design thinking gives you an incredible, well thought out masterpiece like the National Botanical Garden in Washington, D.C. So just further take us to the other components of this too is the synergy in cross-disciplinary teams, right? So it is just really important to have a team of that is consists of members with different expertise who collaborate to achieve common goals. The synergy lies in combining diverse skills and perspectives to foster innovation. Look, there's so many ways to like think about this too, because let me use a quick analogy of food. I'm sure everybody like food, right? If I asked you in the chat and say, if raise up your hand or just type in the chat and say, oh no, I don't like food, what would the answers be? I doubt we'll have zero because we all have to survive. But the interesting thing about food is the meal you eat, even though it's soup, right? It has tremendous amounts of, let's say, ingredients or spices that you have to put together, right, to make it to taste delicious, for you to devour and say, yummy, this is amazing. I just want more food, right? That is the importance of diversity. So diversity, having a diverse team, having an inclusive team is really, really critical, because you're talking about diversity of ideas. In this case, when you have a team that have different expertise, it really makes your innovation, it makes your innovative products delicious, more effective for your customers, right? And for your consumers overall to digest, to utilize, and overall make an impact in their life. So let me just give you a quick framework here that you can use in your respective businesses too, that could really help you foster that synergy, right, of having a cross-disciplinary team. So one is you have to think about the stage of team formation, right? To my previous point, you have to look at it from the perspective of who are the people that are on this team. What is their background, right, in terms of like skills, expertise, in terms of their like age? Because frankly, you really need a perspective in the room. In as much as you're trying to create a product, a service, a process, right, for people, you need diverse perspective, you need diverse age. I mean, I'm sure you all know this right now, that currently there are over 5 generations in the workforce. And all of this generation, we just have to find ways to get along. We have to find a ways to communicate effectively. We have to find a way to collaborate effectively. And we have to find a way to co-design and co-create. And with that is bringing all of those voices to a room where everyone can feel heard, can feel seen, can feel respected. And most importantly, you have to create this psychological safety as well. I think psychological safety is a word that I would say it has been really underplayed or like, undervalued. Each leader here should just prioritize psychological safety. Whenever you're forming a team together, just think about it. Who are those people? What are their skills? What is their race? What is their gender? Right? What is their age? What's their demography? Then the next part is the stage of team numbing. Well, you've actually brought all of these people together and you say to yourself, okay, is my job done as a leader? Well, no, my dear, now your job is not done as a leader, because you have to now think about, okay, how will those people communicate? What is your preferences? Let's say, for example, you have a team of people, let's say in 5 different continents, and they have different time zones. Even in the US, you have 3 different time zones in the US. I mean, I have teams in Denver, right, which is central. I also have team in San Francisco. So I have teams everywhere. So I have to perhaps understand, okay, um, this person, what time would do they wake up? What is their schedule like? I cannot just put an invite on their calendar just because I saw them online. Oh, I think they should be awake by this time. No, you have to be really thoughtful as a leader, right? To be more inclusive in pulling all of this team together and also setting the tone, right? What are the things that we're supposed to do? What is our value system? And most importantly, what is the vision? Because without no vision, I mean, there is no roadmap, right? So, what is the vision? Where are we trying to go? And you have to also have to find an alignment. So, how do we align as a cross-functional team, right, or as a cross-disciplinary team? How do we make sure that okay, we communicate well, we collaborate well, we foster and promote psychological safety, and most importantly, we feel that okay, our ideas are valued, our ideas are valuable, our ideas are taken into consideration. I mean, let's be realistic, right? There are some ideas that will be tabled down right before you, and you might overlook it and say to yourself, well, no, I don't think this idea is good. You might have to be in that position. I don't think so. However, the question is, how do you communicate that idea or that thought of an idea is not pertinent enough? Or how do you communicate to a team that an idea shared might not actually meet the organizational objective? Or how do you communicate to a team to say, well, I appreciate you. I think you're incredible. This is valuable. But you don't do that, right? You don't, because even the word but alone can serve as a negative to the person that is listening to you. And the person might actually feel, well, I was up all night, thinking about days, and I feel like, oh, perhaps I had something poignant to share with you. I had something that um, would actually move this organization forward. But you just told me that it's garbage. No, you don't. You don't do that. So, as a leader, you have to find a way to strategically communicate, and most importantly, diplomatically communicate your points to your team. And that is professional setting, yeah. But if I am to bring that home and say, okay, to your individual life, you have to be strategic, right? You have to diplomatically communicate your points and your feedback to your partner as well, to your siblings. So it's just how it is. It is how life is. Because yes, I understand that there are so many different cultures out there, and some people are very direct. So, take for example, feedback, right, is a critical component of team numbing. I, as a Nigerian American, so I was born in Nigeria. I lived in Bulgaria. I lived in the UK. Now I live in the US as an American citizen. But I noticed that I have been to all of those places. But the interesting part is all of these places have different way of communicating and even relating feedback to people. Take for example, in Nigeria, it's not what you said that matters. It's not. It is how you said it, the delivery. That is the most impactful way. So I could say, okay, I have a group of team together, and I'm just gonna put myself as person number one, and I'm gonna use the word. My name is gonna be Katharina in this case. And please, if there's any Katharina in this presentation, please forgive me. I am not calling you out. I'm just, use it as an example. So, And at Katrina giving Kelly feedback and saying, yeah, I think you were really, I think your idea was really cool. Yeah, your idea was really cool. So, but the same Katrina gave Gerard, right, feedback and said, "Oh my God, your feedback was amazing. I love everything. It's just really pregnant. This is exactly what we're looking for." What just happened is, right, Katrina tried to relate similar feedback to two people. But however, you can tell, right, that one is sincere and the other one is not, just by the intonation, even by the pitch level, and also by the gesticulation, if possible. So when you are doing team numbing, you have to think about all of these critical components to ensure that your team, right, feel valuable, they feel seen, and they feel heard. And the last stage is team performing, right? So as a team, you have to figure out a way that, okay, now we've been doing this and we've been collaborating, and it has to get to the stage of execution. How do we do that? How do we ensure that each and every ingredients that we have in the soup is the right ingredients, and perhaps we actually measure the right quantity, right, to add to the soup to ensure that it gives us the right kick and the right taste that we need. When you think about that, you're actually thinking about, okay, all of the necessary measures that goes into your team collaborating efficiently, and also measuring the impact of the collaboration. Towards the end of this presentation as well, I will share insights on, measurements of innovation. So how do you measure innovation? I know that is something that is so, we don't necessarily have the best answer, right? But there's so many frameworks out there that talks about how you can measure innovation. When we get to the point, I will elaborate more on that. So to just give you some practical use cases on how you can actually, create the synergy between a cross-disciplinary team as well. What we have seen in industry and some data. So Google's Project Aristotle. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with the Google Project Aristotle. So this is a critical case study that we found that the best teams out there is that feel safe to express diverse ideas. So you have to look at it too. Okay, even Google, right, a global tech firm, actually tested this out, and it worked like perfectly that well. If you really want a collaborative initiative, right, if you really want to like design a product that is cutting edge, one of the best, right, one of a kind in the market on your respective industry, it is critical to have those diverse ideas, right? You can find a ways to like diverge and converge, but make people feel that ideas are heard. Unilever is another organization that is showing how managing a diverse team has led to groundbreaking product innovations, and a 25% of faster time to market. Last but not the least, NASA, right, is also another organization that has managed diverse teams to achieve unified goals in space mission. Look, I am lucky to have one of the best human on Earth, as a friend. It's one of my friend that works with NASA, that is also part of this Mars project. I have heard and learned a lot from him on how they, actually pull this diverse teams of people together to table those ideas, prioritize those ideas, and just put a metal to the pedal to just say, okay, you know what, this is how we're going to do it, just because of the fact that they've been able to like bring diverse ideas together to come up with the next new ideas on how we can take people to space. Diverse teams, when managed, are more creative, innovative, and solve problem faster, and can achieve greater success. Your success is your team's success. Your team's success is your success. So as a leader, always think about, is my team diverse enough? Does my team have the right representation, the right skills, the right age? Are those people ready to make a product that our customers will consume, right? Are those people ready to make a product that is actually a good representation across the board? So these are critical conversations that we should be having as innovators, as we think about creating the next groundbreaking idea, the next AI, or perhaps super intelligence, which we don't know when it's going to come. Maybe it's already here, we don't know, right? Or perhaps ChatGPT 5 that is so close that it's coming out soon, right? We have to think about the whole diverse perspective too. And we have to think about how, as leaders, we can create a psychological safe space to foster collaboration, clear and succinct communication, co-creation, designing and implementation of cutting-edge ideas across the board. So now let's talk about the other part too, which is the success. How do you measure this? We know that the metrics of success are quantifiable measures used to evaluate the effectiveness of digital transformation. So I will also share with you like the digital innovation success framework that you can always leverage, right? To be able to measure what innovation that you have created and for you to understand the critical impact and for you to know, okay, does this really mirrors to my organizational objectives? And for you to think deeply to uncover the other layers of it too, because one beautiful thing about innovation is there's always more to come. It's never end. It's never a one bus stop. So how do you measure the success of your innovation? Efficiency, effectiveness, engagement, and impact. So, how efficient is the innovation that you've created? How effective it is, right, for the life of the people or the users? What about the engagement part too? And last but not the least is the impact. So, does this also bring down to the bottom line too? Is there an impact on the community overall? Is there an impact on the organization? So where organizations able to like create new ideas as a result of this? Did it transform people's life? You have to think about all of those critical components. And it doesn't end there at all. So it has to be like a circle, right? A continuous improvement. It's a loop. That is why if you look at there is a logo that is consistent here, the yin yang. So because to me, aside the fact that I love the whole principle of human-centered design and innovation, because to me, I feel life is it's all about innovation. We innovate every day, whether we choose it or not. We innovate every day. There is this concept that I've been really talking a lot about lately. It's called self-innovation and strategic imagination. So strategic imagination, another day, we'll leave that for another topic because that is just a huge one on its own. But self-innovation, the important part of self-innovation is, there is this popular saying by a famous drag icon. For all of you that knows and watch RuPaul's Drag Race, I mean, I kill time sometimes to watching that because I just want to laugh and learn. He says you can love yourself if you don't love. How can you love another person if you don't love yourself? I just paraphrased it. However, if you have to like bring that to self-innovation, is it also really boils down to this particular thing as well of you can't give what you don't have. If you don't have an eye, I wonder what you want to give, right? So, and you have to think about it from that perspective as well. You self-innovate every day. Let me tell you this. When you wake up in the morning, you just bring it home again. When you wake up in the morning, if you brush your teeth well, and if you take care of your like face, all of that, right, you will see a result that will be very good compared to when you wake up in the morning, right? No brushing, no cleaning of the face, and you just went to work, people will tell the difference because one might be like, oh my God. At the other, I'm like, oh my God, your face is glowing. So those is just like practical, little things that you do on a daily basis to innovate. Even reading, right? Reading is also part of like self innovation. Just practicing the principles of architecture as well is another part of innovation, right? Self-innovation, because architecture actually brings the whole conversation of psychology and architecture to self-innovate. So anyway, to just quickly peruse through this too, right? These are just also some industrial use cases on how they measure digital transformation. So, take for example, Amazon use of metrics to refine its recommendation engine, contributing to a 35% revenue increase. Zara, a reputable fashion brand, also use real-time sales data to optimize inventory management, resulting in a 20% rise in profits. So these are the frameworks too that you can perhaps utilize to understand if what you are making is actually being successful or not, if it's been impactful, if it's been efficient, effective, or if it's engaging. So measuring the impact of the digital transformation initiative is critical for understanding their values and guiding future efforts. Now, I just want each and everyone here to please take a step with me because we are all leaders, right? We are creating the net new ideas too. So be the architect of change in your respective organization. And if I'm going to bring it up again, bring the architect of change in your personal life because you can't give what you don't have. In order for you to like give your organization that powerful idea, right? You have to refine it. You have to like understand the idea before you even pitch it out. I will encourage you to lead with vision, design with empathy, collaborate with diversity, measure with intent, and innovate with humanity. Human first. And with human first comes with empathy. And last but not the least, just a question for you. I want you to think about this critically. How will you drive a 10% improvement in your team's innovation output this quarter? So, what are you going to do? What are you going to do different? Just think about it. How will you drive that, right, this quarter? I leave you with this quote. The true essence of innovation is in the employment of this element: explore, encourage, empower, and establish. As leaders, these are things that we can do on a daily basis to really help our team get to the place it's supposed to be and to get our organization to that North Star that we're heading to. Please connect with me on LinkedIn, and I empower you to lead digital transformation with AI and human-centered innovation. Thank you so much for listening to me. Thank you so much for all of the incredible speakers, that has actually given us powerful insights on what we need to know about AI, how we can leverage AI to be more productive, to be more efficient, and how we can lead with human-centered design in mind.